Hey guys, Marlo Brown from the Drunken Monks here. While editing this week's episode, I came across something that basically put us back a couple of a couple of steps. And the fact of the matter is that one of our cameras conked out right at the worst moment. We had to replace some of that footage, so try to see if you can recognize where that we did a little bit of plastering. Other than that, enjoy.
You are now listening to the Drunken Monks Podcast.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back once again. My name is Marlo Brown. Across the table you have
Denise Faber,
Denise Fiber, and we are.
Drunken Monks.
We are. Episode 3, love. We are back.
Yeah, baby.
And it's hot as shit, isn't it?
Whee!
Hot as shit, man. Jesus H. Christ. That environmentalism thing that we spoke about last week, I think we got to take more heed to it because this is ridiculous, man.
Yep. And meteo,
Right.
meteorological. I don't know what the word is in English.
The weather service.
The weather service issued a warning for last weekend and for today as well. That
Heat
it's
wave
too-
type
yeah,
of
heat
vibe.
wave, yeah.
I know, you. Dude, like, it is what it is, man. I mean, we are going to try to do our best where this one is concerned. I myself, I'm not driving as much as I should.
Okay.
Trying to stay home. Dude, I don't got no aircon in the car. Like, no decent one at least.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not like you. Not like rolling big and them type of ones. But
Fancy Nancy.
But yeah, dude, we are back. We are also on Spotify as promised. We are also looking forward to putting more of the older episodes onto Spotify as well, which should come within the coming days, weeks. Like easy enough. So if anybody wants to catch up and who's been rattling us for the audio alone, it's coming. All right, guys, like it's coming and like it's being dealt with as we speak.
Check us out on YouTube. Leave a comment.
Yes.
Leave a like.
And leave a suggestion. We could always talk about what you guys want to hear too, like as well too.
Yeah, interesting topics.
Nothing too off, but yeah.
Or maybe something very off. I don't know.
Yeah, we still gotta keep a sponsor. And speaking of sponsors, we are also this week's episode, like every episode this season, is sponsored by United Distributors. We have some of their fine wares here with us this evening. I myself, I'm on the Old Par. I don't know what you on.
I am on the Sir Edmund. I mixed it with a little bit of cherry and a little bit of soda.
Soda water.
Water.
Okay.
So I got
And
myself
just a touch of bitters, right? Just a touch of bitters.
and bitters, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so but it's good.
It's very nice.
There you go. New recipe. Hey, we want our like copyright on that one, man. Like she thought up a new something. This is what it is. All right, but then I guess that's enough of the housekeeping.
Yes.
Shall we get to it?
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Ende na kuboka grande, ende na kuboka grande, também tá buscar problema. Ora penso come palcha, tu tá back, manel cangre.
You want to start? You want me to start?
Yes. I saw something. What shall we say? Curious on in the papers. Our Minister of VVRP, which is traffic, transportation, and verkeer, vervoer, ruimtelijke ordening, spatial planning.
Spatial planning. There we go.
Allegedly said on his Facebook page that he does not want a Dutch person, and he used the word Makamba.
Which is a little bit denigrerend, guys. Like
Yeah,
Like a lot. It's not a good term.
a
Let's say it like that.
contentious term. Let's put it like that. For the okay, basically the Housing Foundation needs a new financial director.
Right.
They have not had a financial director for I don't know how long, and this also means that they were not able to hand in their jaarrekeningen. So is that the year statement, or what do you call it? The financial
yearly
report?
Budgeting and the yearly financial report, yeah.
For I don't know how many years, and it is the reason that the central bank told the organization as well that they can no longer, since 2019, are not allowed to give out mortgages, because the Housing Foundation had another foundation next to it, part of the whole thing, that also gave out mortgages for people to be able to buy public housing or affordable homes, let's say.
Right.
And so since 2019, that could not happen because they don't have a financial director. And now with all the measures from Holland, the money that we're getting, there are a lot of conditions. And most of the conditions see to that we manage and anything governmental better, including this housing situation. So finally, they found somebody who fits the profile. It was a candidate out of 20 persons. Did an assessment, did the whole shebang, and after the whole sollicitaire procedure, the whole interview procedure, he came in as the best candidate. Okay. And he has international experience and all kind of thing that seems to be, well, he fit all the criteria for the job.
Right.
So the Housing Foundation, or the Selectie Commissie, the commission that goes over the hiring process, I guess, they sent this proposal for this man to the ministry. Right. Housing falls under Charles Infrastructure is my baby Cooper, and they sent it to him. And actually,
like a prize fighter, Charles Infrastructure is my baby Cooper.
Ding 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 ding.
Ding ding ding.
He is ready to rumble.
Apparently.
Okay. They sent it there. And basically there is an organization that is in charge of corporate governance, and they have to check to see if the procedure went well and if it's in line with corporate governance principles, and then basically the minister just has to sign off on the thing. And now I'm seeing that I'm wearing 2 different earrings. That was not the idea. Very bohemian.
Oh my god, dude! It shows the dual sides of your personality,
of
man.
course.
It's an artistic choice.
Yes. Party and glamour. I don't know. Anyhow, back to the story. So they proposed this man, and then the minister allegedly said on his Facebook, "I don't want this guy. Why are you sending me only one name? I need at least 3 candidates to choose from. And it's a Dutch guy. I don't want no Dutch guy." Well, he didn't say it like that, but no Dutch guy.
Makamba is Dutch. I mean, there is no...
Yeah, but he didn't say, "I don't want a Dutch guy." Let me tell you what he says according to the newspaper. And he said, "And you cannot tell me that there are no Curacao, so no Curacalians that fit the profile." And he also wonders why the man gotta earn so much as he's gonna earn. So my question to you is, no wait, let me first try to look for the quote here. No, he's just not. He doesn't agree with that. The guy. He says, if an entity which falls under my responsibility only presents me with one candidate, which is bovendien, which is furthermore a Makamba, and who's gonna earn 17,000 guilders gross per month. How wrong am I to say that I want to have a choice? Don't send me just one option, but leave me choose between 2 or 3 candidates. And don't come tell me that a Curacao cannot do this job. And he also complained that the unions are defending the wrong things. Probably the union said, we agree that this guy is... I don't know what the union said. But to me, so the minister does not want to have a Makamba in the position, and he says, don't tell me there are no Curacaos who can do the job. What do you think about and now, because the whole thing became a jugu, it became an issue. Now the minister is saying that the journalist or the media took his quote out of context. He did not say he don't want a Makamba. I did not read the post,
Right.
but if you are going to quote a Facebook post, I don't think you're gonna lie in that, because that is something that
No, but not just that. You could always look. You can always manipulate a thing not to play devil's advocate. You can, but in that same vein, there's more than enough ways to get what the real post was, even after it was deleted. Like, people think that that I deleted it, then it's gone. No,
yeah.
a lot of times once it's on the internet, it's there.
Yeah.
Check what I mean.
Yeah.
But you touch on a lot of different things there, boy, because that for me at least, it touches on the he to me structured. If he said it, I'll go in with allegedly.
Yeah,
'cause I don't wanna get shot.
let's pretend he said it.
Yeah, let's not get shot here. You know what I mean? I easily would say that he knew exactly what he was saying when he said those words, because you just stoked all the fires. That's a classism issue with the amount of money that was purported to be what the salary is. The Makamba issue, the governance issue. There's a lot of little boxes that he ticked in that statement, allegedly. Right?
The Nosmispor issue.
Right, yeah.
Don't tell me there's no Yukursa who can do this work.
Right.
But I'm like, for 3 years, for the foundation didn't have a financial director for I don't know how long.
Right.
So obviously there's no Yukursa who can do the work.
No, but this is a nasty thing that none of us want to admit. Do I think that there are talented people out there that can do a lot of the work? Yes. Do I think that they are uniquely in position to be able to take care of a lot of things right now? No. St. Martin has the same problem too. Here has the same problem. You have a lot of pieces that don't fit. Mm-hmm. Or you have people that maybe the piece fit, but they themselves, for personal reasons, for whatever reasons, for career goals or whatever, they don't want to take on that particular job that they are suited for.
That's what I wanted to say, because
You know what I mean?
I am sure that there are people who are well equipped to do this job,
Right.
but not everybody wants to work for a government foundation and not
Right.
for public housing. It's
A thankless job.
Yeah, it's a thankless job, and it has so many problems. If you tell me that you could not hand in a year budget for I don't know how many years, like,
Right. No, but that, listen, but
like you have to do a lot of cleaning up.
No, but
you know.
like, look. Again, what is the dirty secret that a lot of people don't want to admit? I think higher education has been rolling strong within our ranks. Call it from the 50s,
Probably.
40s? Yeah, like around there. In between, you had before that, of course, you had lucky ones, or maybe the quote unquote elite that were able to go to school in my grandfather's and my great grandfather's days or whatever. But like the mass exodus of brain trust from here to Nederland started, I think, in the 70s and the 80s, like a little bit before like our time.
Yeah.
We have had 40 years of being able to try to catch up in academia. We have had 40 years of not just like trying to catch up in like academia, but in professionalism like as well. It's only, I think, the last maybe 30 years that we've seen what a boardroom looks like, what the etiquette is and the protocol is of how to hold a meeting, how to hold like any kind of minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Amongst us, you know what I mean? And that's not saying that we can't do it. I'm saying that our exposure level is low. And that's across the board. That's not, I know my mind is low, even though I've had good luck to see certain things, but I know that I've not seen what a typical person of my build type, whatever, coming out of Europe might have had. You check what I mean? To be from the Caribbean means to have not had everything to your hand in the first place, and that all of that culminates to me in you have shortages in the places that you need. You have shortages in competency, you have shortages in leadership, you have shortages in like a bunch of key places. We can fill the ranks, that ain't no problem. The lower level, that ain't no problem. We can fill that, and we're getting to a point where we even start to take that like a little serious now to look as well. But middle management and above is still a problem, and that's not looking down at my people. I truly feel that we can do it like ourselves. So in that way, I hate to say it, but I actually agree with him on principle. but not in practicality, because he's supposed to know that too, like, as well. He knows what we know, that you want these amount of people, but there's only so much to have, and you can't have. It's the same reason, like out of that same type of vibe, right? Let me ask a question, and then you answer it. Are all the foundations here, like all the boards, the executive boards and what I'm saying, are they manned by the same people or by different people every time?
Different, but I'm sure there are overlaps.
Okay, so then let me ask it in a more pointed way. How heavy are those overlaps?
No, I think nowadays it felt me.
It felt May, but if we come out of it ain't too long ago, not even 5 years that I would say. That
No, I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? I would dare say yes, because a lot, like in my last travels, I keep bumping up into the same people. Like, not for want or need, but it's like, oh, by the way, I'm a board member of that. Oh, by the way, I'm a thing of that as well. I'm on the board with that. But how many jobs do you have? How many, like, next to your managerial job, like how and your home life and all of that?
Yeah.
How much do you have on your plate? If you're on one board, it's a lot, much less 3, much less 4.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Here, I get the feeling that people do want to do if they could and if they should, but I think also that the smarter ones look to public service, look to public life, and as we just said, it's a thankless job. You take on that job, let's say that they gotta go into FKP or whatnot, right? You end up dragging all of the rekening out of everybody, kicking and screaming. People are going to hate you for years because you did what you had to do to get the job done. So you're ruining your reputation with that. Somebody might be using FKP as a cover for something, or might be doing this or that. So you might uncover something of somebody as well, because I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm saying that the possibility is there, right? So you make an enemy of a powerful person to look as well. If you do your job right, it might look like you've done nothing at all, but it still would go too slow for the local populace here, because a lot of them like to complain and call in and do this and that. So no matter where you go, you're going to get your ass kicked, right? Smarter people be like, okay, so I'm going to go in there, catch hell, make less money, and move? But I like it here. You know what I mean? Because if I stay here after that job, again, I might have made an enemy, I might have made a couple, I might have made a lot, you don't know. But it's a thankless job. And I have to make that calculation of, okay, so I stick my neck out and I get stunk for dunk, or I make more over here, being the manager of like Trustmore or Waitic Fail, and I stay out of the people in business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that to me is a no-brainer, and that combined with the scarcity, I think that's where you're seeing that kind of problem.
But even just, okay, that's all very logical.
But
even just from the standpoint of somebody saying,
the
I
Macamba
don't
business.
want. That's
I've been trying to avoid that.
Specifically,
I was trying to avoid that.
I don't want no Macamba.
I was trying to avoid that. I've been long-winded, even though I'm in front of you these days, but I'm gonna try to make this one short. And I'll even ask you a question. I genuinely see that there's a hell of a. It's not manufactured. It is not, even though you got types like Charles Cooper that seem to put gasoline to the fire, right? But I don't think it's a manufactured grievance between the Dutch community and the local community. And I think it's in a feedback loop as is. This is what I've observed. I would make that observation, but I would ask a question. I would ask somebody who's been here longer than me and who knows the people a little bit better. Both sides of the line. Do you think that there's healing that could be had?
Yes, and it needs to happen. It needs
to happen, but okay, so what does that path to everybody just calming down and relaxing and things end up that such a statement wouldn't get traction? Like, what would be necessary for that to be a little bit different?
Now, for such a statement not to get traction, that is a difficult situation, because I think what a lot of people feel and what the minister, infrastructure is my baby Cooper, said. By the way, that was his slogan during the campaign.
Infrastructure is my baby. Look at it.
What the minister said and what the people feel is it's okay to discriminate in this case, because it's basically discrimination, because you say, based on your race, ethnicity, whatever, your nationality, well, not nationality because we Dutch too, but based on your background, we don't want you. And it is because we feel that the Dutch often do that to us. Like, they will not give a black Curacalian a fair chance.
So he wants to, in his own twisted way, institute like affirmative action or something.
Some kind of way, because he was like, if Coho, so the Dutch entity who's gonna do all the reforms that we need for the government and for us to get our finances in order. If the Coho can say that they don't want no Curacalians, then we should also, like, is it wrong for me to say that I don't want a Dutchman? So that is the sentiment, and I feel that
it's a false equivalency.
Why is it a false equivalency?
That's a false equivalency because Coho, Lord, I am gonna catch some flack for this. Coho is a consequence of bad governance across the board, right?
So now all Curacalians are bad?
No, I'm not saying that. But Coho is a further down the line calculation than just being able to pick up whether or not that this person is an appointee. You understand what I mean? Like if for example, right? If Charles Cooper got his other two names alongside, both of them are local. One of them is exemplary, just like how the Dutchman is, right? But then the other one has a history of bad management, bad governance, bad procedure, whatever. We're not even looking into like his personal life, just on a like how they have gepresteerd. Oh Jesus, what was the word? Their history of action, right? Yeah. You can tell that they're a problem, even though that they might got certain degrees or whatever, right? I would dare say then at least out of those three, that bad governance one gotta go.
Gotta go, yep.
Exactly, and I'm not defending the Dutch because I do have a stick up my ass about them too as well.
Oh, you wouldn't say.
No, but what I'm saying is like I can understand a particular sentiment when it comes to Coho.
No,
like you wanna make sure absolute. If it was me, altruistically, if it was me on the other side of the fence and taking out race and everything like out of the picture, right? If I gotta come in and help a problematic situation that is already ticklish, where I'm automatically painted as the bad guy, if I'm doing my thing right, I want to get in and get the fuck out. You understand what I mean? I don't want to spend no more time there than I have to. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, Coho didn't really say it like that. Coho did say some onhandige dingen, but I agree. But I feel that to be able to manage it better, you could have put a Curacalian in your team. You do two European Dutch and one Curacalian.
Right.
Do that because we already are annoyed and are upset that there's going to be such a thing as Coho.
Right.
There's already like a weird relationship and a weird dynamic between Curacalians and Dutch. Den Haag, like government Dutch.
And wait a minute.
So kom met een bruggenbouwer.
Wait, but let me hit a point of clarification where that one is concerned too. Dutch politicians and Curacalian politicians or Antillean politicians or Samaritan politicians, for the most part, don't like each other. The people like each other. Yeah. We can fuck with each other. And that's why I wanted to kind of bring that up. Is like amongst us, even though I swear to God, even though that I have experienced weird shit, certain types of racism, while living in Nederland, for the most part, if I'm being 100% honest, most down-to-earth Dutch people are inquisitive or curious. They don't know about you. They don't know about where you're from and what you're about. And so all they have to go on is the stereotypes that was presented to them. And I did enough of that in my time to be able to break down the barriers of like, no, we're not like that. We're all, we're just a different people. That's all it is. It's a bit kumbaya, but I am saying that the politicians, the leaders have an issue with each other. They have a major issue with each other, and they make hay. And both sides know what they're doing too as well. Again, allegedly, if Charles Cooper said what he said, right? Or if he wrote what he wrote, right? It was perfectly crafted. Because you hit on every fucking nerve that could be hit, and you need... This goes back to what I said in the first week. These motherfuckers need a distraction. Because it no by bong. Is not going well, man. Like, things are not going well as is right now. We hear nothing but a refinery.
But I think you're giving too much credit. I don't think...
You sure about that?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it was purposely set as a distraction. It's a nice bonus that it's a distraction.
Right.
But I don't know if it was set... I think it's just pandering to the base again.
Yeah, so we saw pandering, but... Listen, you can pander to me by making a burger, the best burger ever. You could pander to me. That hits me in a sweet spot, and that makes me comfortable and happy. You can also pander to me by bringing up why I don't like hip hop right now. I love to talk about the fact that hip hop is shit right now, and yes, it is.
Okay, that's right? Gonna be a next show.
Right? But there's two types of pandering. There's pandering to make you feel good, and there's pandering to make you feel kind of angry and riled up and whatever. And the pandering that he's doing or allegedly doing, that MFK seemed to have very much gotten into that wheelhouse. These suckers like to make people angry. These suckers like to make and again, I'm not taking away from regular people's grievances. There's certain grievances that are very much earned. We have to keep that in mind. It's not just quote unquote lowbrow people getting mad because this or that or like or whatever. There's certain grievances they can't articulate it well. They don't know how to bring it across. They don't know, but they feel that something's wrong with the matrix, and they're like, "Yo, Dread," and somebody comes along and gives them space or gives them room or gives them whatever, and fills the space in with words that they think they want to hear, but it's not quite what it is. I think all of us, at the end of the day, we want to get along well. I think that all of us wants to have a peaceful spot among us or whatever the fuck, and to be fair.
We're gonna round this off, but I don't think all of us want to be. What did you say? Want to get along?
Right.
Because you said, and I thought it was an interesting point and a good observation, that MFK likes to anger people.
Right.
They're working, their fuel is anger. And I think this is a worldwide trend. You saw it with Trump.
Yeah,
you see it with Wilders. You see it with
populism.
Just
populism. But
you do not want to get along because that is undermining your goal.
Okay. I hate to leave it here, but we have to. We have to pay some bills. But I like where this one went. This is more of what we need to talk about too, as well, because I genuinely think that more conversation is better than less. And where this type of shit is concerned, even if it's just for one thing, you bring up the fact that that people got points. You bring up the fact that people got grievances. At least you start to look at the other side of the thing. So yeah, but all right, let me done it off there. Shall we pay a bill or two, my dear?
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills?
Who sang that?
Destiny's Child, baby.
So let's keep it like that, please.
No, Zach.
We'll be right back, y'all. And we are back, folks. Welcome back. Denise,
Woo-hoo.
even though the welcome back is a weird one because it's a day later. We've changed clothes and all. Yeah, man. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. That was my bad. And but we persevere and we always try to get the good news forward. So we drink, we know things, and we persevere. That is our motto, you know what I mean? Yeah, toch. But all right. But then on this segment there that we're trying to make sure that we re-record or record differently. I would ask, what do you want to talk about, love? Because
What do we have on the docket?
well, again, we had R. Kelly. We had, since we had some time after the first recording, there was the case of CMC, so the local hospital here. They basically had said that they're not going to do elective surgeries up until the end of the year, so they basically stopped that. And the interesting part is not for the reason that people would assume.
What people assume?
I'll pay my bills, keep paying my telephone bills, keep paying my automobiles, maybe we could chill.
I mean, normal people would say that because of COVID. I mean, the place might have been overwhelmed. This would be an assumption, is what I'm saying. That the infrastructure of the hospital would be overwhelmed, and because of that, they would say, all right, you know what, that we're gonna take a break on these things so that we can focus on this. But that's not the case. It's actually a financial dispute that is going on between themselves and SVB, which is the social vangnet of healthcare here, you know? So that is the healthcare to make sure that everybody got healthcare.
Yeah, it's the insurance. It's the social insurance.
The social insurance, correct. But I dare not pronounce that I know the details of this, right? Because again, this kind of came up and it really didn't hit my radar as hard. But from what I've gathered is that long and short, that CMC has not been getting its payments properly from SVB, and long known that SVB has also had some financial issues throughout the years as well. I find it it's always an interesting story because even though it says elective, a lot of these surgeries are very much needed for like a lot of people. And I would find it interesting that between now and December, the end of December, that you can't really get nothing done. So that on top of COVID, you know what I mean? So I don't know what you think about it.
Well, I think it's ridiculous to start with that there is no money for people to be treated. So everybody, please don't get sick. Be very careful. Don't run under a bus. Don't do no stupid challenges, crate challenge or whatever kind of nonsense challenge. Because until the end of the year, the hospital can't help you. Money done. Yeah. And I don't really understand how it happened, what happened. I understand COVID hit and we didn't expect it and it's going ahead longer than we thought. But we did get help for COVID. Or we got support, financial support, and we got different medical professionals from the States and from the Netherlands helping in the hospital. But what I know is that this new hospital, because this hospital is, I don't know, maybe 2 years old. I don't know exactly how old it is.
I can with authority say it's about 2.5 years old. Because I was one of its first. I was one of his first. Oh man, patients. Like I was one of his first patients, man, for real. So
so this hospital costs a lot more than the old hospital. And I'm not sure what the costs are. So we saw the hospital is bigger, the hospital is more modern. I'm assuming they have better equipment and that kind of way. So it's costing more. And eigenlijk we know too little of this case, Marlo, to really talk about it. But as we know, most of the things in this country, like everything gets more expensive, but what has to be paid stays the same. So at a certain moment.
No, but I mean, okay, look, we can discuss nuance, but we could definitely discuss some of the bigger points. And for me, it's a simple one. The case with SVB is yet another example of how mismanagement leads to bigger problems. The one thing that we can say across the board is that there's been a lot of mismanagement, be it from either malice or non-malice, but there's always a case of it, things not going where it should go because of people at the helm not bringing down to their troops or whatever have you to make sure that the place runs at a high level, at an efficient level. And it's not just SVB. There's a lot of instances, there's a lot of departments we all could point to and say, all right, you know what, that .com well better. And it's not it's not to throw SVB like under the bus like either, because that, yes, I would say I don't know what the story is, and I'm pretty sure that somebody can tell us exactly what's going on. But at the same time, is like, even under the best of circumstances, you can be rest assured that it's not running right. And with all of that coming to a head these days, I think COVID was the straw that broke the camel's back for like a lot of people and like a lot of things. So now you're getting all these things out about, all right, so now the money really done. So now this is what's going on. So now that's what's going on. I think that there was a report about the government, just to go like on a bit of a tangent, that there was some report that I heard on the radio, I think this morning, where the finance department doesn't even know how much money it has right now. Like it's a big it's a big question mark, and especially that Coho hasn't quite kicked in and things are not quite where it needs to be yet. So it's literally a question mark of what's going on, and backlogs of things that need to be done. Rekeningen, we were discussing that at one point. All of these things that need to be done, and nobody's doing it, or nobody's doing it well to get zicht on what's going on. You are gonna get a problem. So it's a sad thing though.
But I don't know, because you were very zeg maar convincing that mismanagement. But I don't know if with proper management we would have been able to also afford this hospital. I don't know.
Part of the thing is, I wonder if this hospital was supposed to be meant for here alone, because, for example, even though that we're not the Antilles anymore, but I can assure you that out of Statia, for example, right, people that cannot get the medical care that is necessary for them on Statia, they fly out. Before times, you used to fly out to St. Martin. Before times, you used to fly, and even now, you still fly out to Colombia, like as an example. I wonder if that was part of the planning for the CMC as well. That it would have been like the go-to place if St. Martin can't handle the case, or if Bonaire can't handle the case, or if Aruba can, like to be like the hospital in the region for the Dutch islands. You know what I mean? That so where their extra money might have come from or so.
No, it's not extra money, because we are still that, Marlo. People are still being flown out from Bonaire, from St. Martin. Complicated cases are still being flown out to Curacao. But I don't think that is a money-making business. Seeing how we're sister islands, they're not gonna just all of a sudden slap them with a bill from here to Tokyo. They would just give, I think, a fair bill. But So yes, we service our sister islands, but no, that's not for that's not a money making thing. According to
I would love for somebody to comment upon this. Like, of all the segments that we've done, I would love to hear a little bit of clarity, because it does feel like it's unclear as well. Like when you get to hear about these type of stories, even with a little bit of digging, unless you got somebody that's on the inside, you rarely get the full story. And I would love for somebody to be able to comment, like even if not on us, but just to give clarity to what it is. Because again, it is a shame. Grandpa can't fix his hip right now. Like if you need a bypass or whatever, if you're not dying or dead, you gotta wait a while. And waiting in the medical world most of the time has never been good. You know what I mean? It usually makes a problem worse. So
Yeah, and the sad part is in that it makes a problem worse. You might be dead before you get treatment, but
right,
also it's gonna make it more expensive. Like we have like it's a weird, I don't know if it's a conundrum or a vicious circle or something. We are trying to save money, but the
right.
longer you postpone something which is not life threatening at this moment, the more dangerous and the more costly
Expensive it
it's gonna
becomes.
be
Yeah,
to treat the person. So it's yeah, it's a horrible situation.
it's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
But Marlo, what should be done to fix it?
To fix it,
Like
that. Look, all right. So you already know my thoughts on organization, but the problem is that to fix insurance or healthcare is to ask the question, what do you need to do to fix education? Is the same question as what do you need to do to fix justice here too, like as well. Nothing happens without the will of the people, or nothing happens without the push of the people, like the weight of the people. You can have the best ideas in the world and you can have the best kind of systems in the world, but let's say about healthcare, right? And I'm glad even in my time right now, in our time, in like our kind of generation, because I'm a fat bastard, I'll admit it, but I'm looking more at my diet and my exercise and a lot of things, and stress and all of those things, sugar intake and whatnot. I'm looking at it more now than my contemporaries in my dad's time or in my grandfather's time like might have done. You know what I mean? Back then, it wasn't even a thought as to how to live and to, you just lived and you died and that was it. But now we're giving a lot of mindfulness to things. That mindfulness is a start, definitely a translation into healthier living. That would be a hell of a thing, because you need healthcare when things go wrong. You understand what I mean? Like if things are
yeah.
going right-ish with you, or with your body, or with your mind, or with whatever, you would visit the hospital less. You would have less sick days. You might have less IO as well. You know what I mean? That to me is a start, but that to me is the start and the end of it as well. You can have all the plans in the world, but if you're not there with the people, and it's not just about the people and having to do what they need to do because of what's right or wrong, but leadership becomes a big thing about that too, like as well. And it's not just the political leaders. You have church leaders, you have band leaders, you have coaches, you have just anybody that has a bit of influence. Let them fly the flag of healthier living, take care of ourselves, eat a little better, exercise a little more, like that type of shit, and not just have it be lip service. I think you can see a lot more easing up off of SVB and them ones. Efficiencies is like another one. Let them run a little bit more kind of efficient. I don't care what organization that you have, it is always a point where you can improve, where it's like you're leaking cash. There's always a place. And it behooves you to kind of look at it and say, all right, you know what, here we could stop. Lastly, I got no idea beyond that. Get the people, get the organization right.
Yeah, there is this part of organization is true, and I like that you were saying we need to focus more on prevention, and I think there is also a big part for the government to promote this, because they do say stuff, but that's just lip service. And in one of the press conference, the Minister of Health was saying, because she's not vaccinated allegedly, or she won't comment whether she's vaccinated or not. So she was saying, but we don't need to focus on the facts. Well, she didn't say it like that, but she was like, but we need to focus more on the prevention part, on the prevention. Like if you prevent it, then you don't even need a vaccine. She didn't say it like that, but that is what you read in between the lines. And it's true. Prevention, better safe than sorry. And it will cost the country, or not cost, it will save the country a lot of resources, and it will also give people a better life, like individuals. So yes, we need to focus on prevention, but I think the government really needs to take it seriously and not send a minister to say, well, instead of buying juice, just buy some vegetables or whatever the hell she said. But you need to put your money where your mouth is. I find you need to make sure that vegetables are cheap. And you also have to see where you buy stuff. Because if you buy locally grown vegetables, like pak soy, like the leafy, the green stuff, like pak soy,
all the Chinese cabbage. Soy, pak
that
soy.
Kind of way,
Bok choy.
you can get that for very cheap. That's true. But if you want to buy broccoli, it's like 7 guilders for almost nothing, So, okay, we need to foods, make sure that healthy foods are affordable. And I don't mind us taxing foods with a lot of fat and a lot of sugar and use the extra income to subsidize the more healthier food. So I think that's one thing that we can do to start. And also that you make gym memberships cheaper, that you enroll in a program so that you can get maybe a discount, that they put more of those outside gyms. You have those, those public, like a couple of exercise machines, but on the street, like Mangusa has those. Right. I saw by the zoo also have them, but I hardly see people on them. But I like that idea. If you put stuff like that in every neighborhood, people will start working out. And I think in the grander scheme of things, we should also change the way we live. Because at this moment, I work from 8 till 5. Often I work for government. I'm a civil servant. And usually I work after 5 even. And I would like, for example, to either go to the gym in my break or start a little later so that I can go to a morning class, because I like gym classes. I don't like to do workout on myself. I like spinning. I like all those classes. And usually those classes are not early in the morning. So if employers are a little bit more lenient and allowing their staff the time to exercise and have a shower, so that even in my lunch break I could do an hour of exercise, come back. Okay, if you go to a gym, you can shower, but if you just wanna, go for a jog or ride a bike, I would say I would like to ride my bike to work, if there was this possibility that I could shower. But so I think we need to start thinking differently, and it's been proven in so many studies that if you exercise, even just a door, like during your job, you're more energized and more focused and to work after. So, but the work culture is not structured like that. Like most employers, there are some employers who are very chill, but most employers don't leave you space to either go to the gym even just, or work out even just, get a massage while you're at a job. And I think if you or do even meditation or yoga while you're at a job, I think if you incorporate elements like that, I think the productivity of your workers will also increase.
I like that one. A friend of mine and I were discussing that very fact. What I'm not gonna give the whole game away, but he was saying about if you could take time out in your job to get a half an hour to go to a space where you get peace, and you turn off phone, you kind of shut out the rest of the world and all of the inputs and all of the things, like all of the shower of information that you usually get. You turn it off for like a bit, do something for yourself that is more zen, and then you put back on your jacket, you go back work, right? That's one. But you raise a point that is a friggin' pet peeve of mine. Pet peeve is a friggin' raging hatred of mine right now, right?
From pet peeve to raging hatred, okay, that's like two different ends of the spectrum.
No, because sometimes it annoys me a little bit, and sometimes it annoys me to no end, right? But what it is like so I'm not convinced that the 40-hour work week is what it's supposed to be like anymore. Definitely,
hell no.
Right.
We should abolish that immediately.
No, No, but listen, but there's been numerous studies, right, that nobody is 100% productive in a 8 hour workday. Even if all things are equal, like even if you have the best lunch, the best spacing of time and one and so, productivity is not at a 100% at 8 hours. 6 hours, you're looking at something. 6 hours could work. 6 hours, between 4 and 6 hours is what a lot of studies say, right? And for me, it makes sense in a way too as well, because anybody who works a 40-hour work week, I can almost guarantee you, unless you have a housewife, unless you have a maid, unless you have somebody taking care of home, your home is a little bit upside down too. Nothing wrong with that, but you're always a little bit behind in laundry, washing dishes, maybe cooking, maybe this, maybe that. Because when you need to be on a job and when you need to come home, by the time you're done, do the shopping, arrange this and what, you ain't even want to see the kitchen no more, and you're not waking up early enough to go do that like either, right? Worse if you got kids.
No, it's true. And in Holland, the 40 hour work week is passé. It's now 32 hours. Standard is basically 32 hours, I think. And I think maybe it could be even less. But even if we were to work 32 hours, that will already be a big help. And indeed, the 40 hour work week or even more is gewoon passé. It is indeed from a time when there was one person at home and one person was working. But in this day and age, usually it's everybody or the persons that need to run the home are working. So it is gewoon impossible. And I see it every day. I go to work. I wake up just before I have to leave. So I wake up, enough time to shower, grab my stuff, go. So then I'm from 8 o'clock until 6 o'clock or something, I'm at my job. Then when I reach home, like I want to exercise. So then it's already, by the time I'm done exercise, it's maybe 7:30. Where am I? Like, can I do shopping? When am I supposed to wash my clothes? Okay, I wash them now in the weekend, but I find the weekend is for relaxing and not for house chores. So now my couch is full of clothes that need to be put away. And I saw a stupid meme, and it was like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but put your clothes away. I was like, mind your own fucking business. Indeed, it is no longer, like a 40 hour work week is gewoon not doable. And especially, yeah, but not only because you're not productive, if you split the week in, let's say 5 days of 8 hours, you're not productive those whole 8 hours, but also you do not have sufficient time to do other stuff that's not work. And if you have other stuff pending that you need to do while you're working, that's also absorbs some of your capacity in your brain, because you're thinking, okay, I have to do this. When am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Which is, so you're a bit distracted because you have other stuff pending, whether it be, time to relax or house chores, or you want to visit a sick relative or something. It is gewoon, I don't think it's optimal.
It is what it is, man. This sounds like a topic. This sounds like maybe that we could jump into maybe next week, because there's a lot of spin-offs as well. Like we are nearly at the limit of the segment, but I will add this little piece so that we could hang our hat maybe next week, right? You get a 32-hour work week, you also free up a lot more for more employment, because those hours you might still want to fill, but then you can, you can cobble those together towards, okay, let me get like a part-timer here, or do this or that, like or whatever. A 32-hour work week allows for, as you say, for more a holistic approach towards life. So you get to maybe get more time to relax, you get more time to go deal with your house stuff, with your home stuff. And again, we're all taking it as a baseline of you're single without any kind of attachment. So you don't have a wife, husband, you don't got kids or one, and so even then it's a little too much,
No, but forget the single people, because I'm like for me it's already hard. But imagine if you're like a single parent, like I come home, I tired, I just go lay down on my couch, and if I wake up tomorrow, that's fine. But if you have kids, you have your kids to attend to. You want to spend time with your kids. You need maybe to check homework, cook, all that kind of thing. And even if you're not a single parent, if both parents are working, it's still very challenging because there are not enough hours left to do the things that are really important, I find.
And I will end it off with this one last one too. As always, towards women is also more and more unfair. A guy could just throw on a pants, a shirt, brush your teeth here or the door. Especially if you got like an office job as a lady, there's a thing that you gotta be representative, you know what I mean? That you gotta, God bless. There are women like you that are trying to push back against that. But you have to wear makeup, you have to wear heels, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Makeup.
Yeah,
Like
but
that
it's a bunch of shit.
alone
I
would
agree
be
with you.
a reason for me to quit the job. I would sue an employer if they were gonna tell me that I had to wear makeup or that my hair had to be non-natural. Hell, hey, nay. That is. But I know there are jobs with especially here, and then you get, I guess, kleedgeld, like money, representation cost or something. I think it's just I agree with giving people representation costs, but I don't think you should tell. And of course, I don't think it's literally said you have to wear makeup. But the colleagues and people will say something. Hey, fuck that.
Fuck that. All right, I think that we got it, man.
Wait, I didn't say it for today yet. Down with the patriarchy.
I gave you a couple chances. You didn't jump in. What the fuck? Now after the fact you want to do it. Oh man. But anyway, all right guys. Let's go pay some bills, and we will be right back.
Bills.
Don't do that.
Bills. Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
People, we are back. This is a subdued version of the Drunken Monks. We're not yelling. We're not doing anything.
Yes.
Maybe this segment. Maybe this segment we're gonna get into it. You know what I mean?
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We seem to have made a bit of a thing with our last segment being about dating and dating life, and maybe we should even spin it off into a podcast. Who knows? But for right now, we're here and we talk about all the shits, right? So, while the latest episode is dropping today, unfortunately, that was my fault, people. I'm sorry. But I did get feedback. Because it's not just, like you show it to certain people, see if you're on the right track or whatever,
Yeah.
before that you post it. And one of the feedbacks that I got from one of my partners is to respond to what you were saying about that you have to expect guys to cheat, right?
Mm-hmm.
The man decide horning is natural. And the man decide...
Can you even explain for our non-West Indian listeners and watchers what honing is?
A hon is a cheat, is an affair, and not even an affair, because it could be a one-time thing, it could be a one-night stand, but it comes, believe it or not, this has some prestigious etymology meaning the history of the word.
Oh, enlighten me, because I don't know about that.
Honing comes from to give a horn to, and that no. This one.
Oh, that one.
Right, and believe it or not, all the way back to Geoffrey Chaucer, Canterbury Tales. That's as old as that phrase is. If you give a person a horn, that means that you have made them into a fool. That means that you have made them into a bit of an idiot. And so, thusly, it has come up over the years that you get a man a horn. You know what I mean? So you give a horn, and A horn is only a
is
horn when you take it
just
on.
by jumping in the pond. Yeah.
How are you even part of the Soca Warrior business when you're doing that kind of foolishness? Like
This
seriously.
was Soca. This was King Verse.
Which is Soca, yeah?
That's right. This was Soca.
But how you? But anyway, look. But anyway, all right, fine. Yo, big ups to Verse, by the way, right? So yeah, no, but yeah, but the man decided a horn is a natural thing. A horn is a natural thing, and
For men or for humans?
humans, more for men than women. He did say that there's a disparagency to, like it leans towards men, but it's a natural thing. It's a natural thing. Man and woman was not meant to be monogamous. And he even break it down for me, right? Because the man went far. And by the way, big ups to Odessi as well, because me and I had this conversation at some point. Right? There's levels. I'm not gonna say the level to the shit, but there's levels of the horn.
Let me go sit for this
Right?
thing now. Let me sit for the shit.
Okay.
Okay.
You got a wife. She's top of the level. Top of the totem pole.
Okay.
Wifey is who you love, who you adore, who you make sure is well versed, gets all the money.
But apparently you don't adore her that much.
Wait no man.
Because of what is about
Wait no
to
man.
be explained.
Wait no man. But you got wifey. This is the one that got your hat. If she put her foot down and if she decide this or that, all the other girls gone. Believe that.
Nay.
Right? Yeah.
Nay.
If only for a week.
Nay.
If only for a week.
If only for a couple of hours.
If only for a week. Right? Then you got mistress. You got mistress. This is wifey light. This is corporal second class. This is right. Wifey act up. Wifey, for whatever reason, things get sour between wife and thing. She's gonna be move up. The mistress gonna be move up to number one, right? Yeah, and she's the one where you start to do your nastiness with. So the things that you would normally do with your mistress, you normally wouldn't do with your wife. Some of the sex acts that are involved are like, this is mistress only and our wife. You know what I mean? Okay, fine. But in the Caribbean, you could be seen with the mistress. If you run your game right, mistress and wife know about each other, and mistress will play her part and not disrespect wife.
But how can you be seen with the mistress without disrespecting your wife? I think that's already the act of disrespect.
Disrespect is going to wifey job and talking out your neck. Disrespect is want to get pregnant while you and wifey got 3-4 children. Disrespect is wanting to take the money out of wifey mouth. That's a disrespect. If you play your part, the man will take care of you no matter what. You understand what I mean? That he'll find a way. It's a fiefdom, I swear to God. Right? Okay. Under the mistress. And mistress will get mad about this one too. Side piece.
Okay.
The by side. The side thing. Right? Loyal. Probably the most loyal of your whole team. Right? If you have like a stable of these girls or whatever.
Yeah.
The most loyal, right? But also the most volatile if you're not careful. Right?
Okay.
Right. The side piece just enjoys you. She don't want nothing, she don't need nothing or whatever. So it could be an older woman, it could be a younger girl, it could be whoever. But the passion is there. The passion between like obligation with wifey is the highest. With the mistress is the second highest. You still gotta take her out, you still for her birthday, that type of thing.
Okay.
But with the side piece is free for is whatever you want to do, you can do. You check what I mean? And she just like your vibe, but she like you. And if anything happened to any one of them two up front, side piece might move up a step or two. You check what I mean? A good side piece knows this. A great side piece knows this and plays her role. You check what I mean? And will not.
The regular side piece wants to be mistress or wife. So
exactly. So
you
that's
got your ass in trouble.
Exactly. And there's one step under that. There's one step under the side piece, right? Because all of these, wife, mistress, side piece, right? Or girlfriend, if you want to call it that, right? All of these have an air of consistency. I'm going to see that one Tuesday. I'm going to see that one Wednesday. en een home de rest of the
I
days.
think this is gewoon
Wait,
niet
man.
hoe het is in de
Wait,
werkelijkheid. I'm
man.
not believing any.
With the bad.
This is gewoon...
And then you got the one-offs. The one-offs, or the jump-offs or whatnot. So. Especially, according to my boy, right? If that girl ugly, but she got some good puss, you don't want nobody no more. You keep her in some kind of corner, whatever. And every now and again, when you're feeling kind of freaky, you jump there and then you come back. You understand? These are the and of course there's nuance and there's more like whatever, but this is the long and short of what like he told me. When he told me that, I stood flabbergasted as to how he was explaining, because he was explaining with conviction. Like this is what he believes. This is what he knows, right? And a part of me wants to disagree with him. A part of me, like the sane part of me, the learned part of me, the non-caveman part of me wants to disagree with this man big time. But I can't fault his logic when I look, especially to the older West Indian men. To the older West Indian men who have things a little bit like under lock and key, who have I have in my lifetime seen that particular thing play out in real time, where in a night a man talks to his, like, comes in with his wife lovey-dovey, brings her home, comes back with his mistress, bring her home, comes back with a girlfriend, bring her home, and then comes back and flirts with the barmaid. Like I've seen that happen. Like, that has happened in my lifetime. And I'm like, yo, I don't have the energy for it.
I wonder
but I commend it, and like
how
anybody
you
that
get
does.
the time and how you get the money. How can people gewoon uphold this? I don't understand. And the part that I have a problem with, if it's like that,
right.
If there's a whole structure and there's levels and positions and whatever, why does it have to be secret? I about the monogamy thing that your friend said, humans are not meant to be monogamous.
Right.
I don't know. I think some are. I think some are not.
Right.
But my problem is gewoon consent and openness. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but why you gotta lie about it? Especially
You
if
feel
the
that-
roles are so defined. Because you say, if it's done well, I guess, or I don't know how you put it, like the
Right.
mistress and the wife know about each other.
Right.
But it's not because the man came home and said, honey, I found myself a mistress or a girlfriend or whatever. It's some other kind of confusion that happened. And the wife decided, like, okay, it's gonna be cheaper and gewoon easier for me to stick with you. You're an alright man. You do some dumb shit and I'll do like this.
Right.
It's not that he came home, honey, and no, like, why the secrecy? What's the problem?
No, but the secrecy goes with the whole idea of the ideal family, right? Ideally, as we've said over the past couple of weeks, ideally moet je voorzien zijn als je thuis bent. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't supposed to be looking no other thing. You got your wife, you got your kids, and you're done. But while we want the ideal, we live a little bit different. We want the ideal of a good body. You and I sneak a lot of snacks. Like
I'm watching these podcasts. I'm thinking,
let me be real about
niet
that.
zo goed, niet zo goed.
And we know about good diet, and we know about exercise, we know about all these things, but we still sneak our snacks, and we like our late night, like drunken
like
type of
our,
ones, you know what I'm saying? And the booze, fuck it, you know what I mean? But I think that's a part of the thing, that there's an ideal that people go after, and they fall short of it, and reality, along with aspirations, they don't quite mesh. And I think that's where my dude basically came in. He's like, yo, people can say what they want, but this is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, whether or not I agree with him is a different story, but I do find his thoughts interesting. You understand what I mean?
But okay, have you ever, if it's not too personal, upheld a multi-person structure? A multi-person, multi-level structure?
Not with dating, but easily when it comes to social kind of situations, I am one way with you. I am another way with quote unquote my Dutch friends. I'm another way with my
but that's everybody.
Okay, but that speaks to the bigger thing. You asked about a multi-person structure. So I'm one way, one way.
Okay, fine.
and
Wife,
I'm another way.
mistress, and side chick, side piece.
Oh, okay. So you're asking if I've ever cheated. You're asking that question. If I've ever lived that life.
If you, yeah.
Yes, but not in the way that you're thinking. I have never lived that life while I had somebody with me. While I had a partner, no, because
that is not cheating.
You could be the Hana man too, you know.
What do you mean?
You could be the one. You could be the sweet man. You could be the one.
Oh.
You could be the one, the man or the woman. Keep and piece out the pot and then go about your fucking business.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't have to be the married man or the married woman in that particular scenario. You could be the one outside.
But I want to know the thought process. Like the side piece, the +1 or the +2 or +5, whatever. I understand. You want your fun?
I could say this one, and I might be giving a cake into my personal a little bit more than most, right? My father cheated on my mother relentlessly, like it was a sport. Like he was quintessential. He was up north. You gotta say it like that. Like my father was a coxman, first class. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of my youth, I got annoyed at the man for like why he had to break up the home, why he had to do this, why he had to do that. A lot of that shit was fed to me by my mom as well. Let me be honest about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got older, got into relationships, and my character and also my fear of becoming my father didn't allow me to do a lot of what he did. 99% of what he did. I made mistakes. I won't lie, but at the same time, who he was is not who I wanted to be. You know. So what happened? I end up sticking it out, for better or for worse. And I won't tell you no lie. There are moments when you can't stand the person across from you. You cannot stand that person. And it's not even like, oh, we disagreeing now and it's going to calm down. And you know that it is, for whatever reason, you have sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. And I dare say, pretty sure that there's people out there for years. You don't like the person anymore.
But if it's years, hey, get your act.
Correct.
Get, man.
Correct, but okay, but then there's kids involved.
What the fuck? Kids are. People always say that, and I hate that. I can't stand people who say that. Like, kids will be so unhappy in an unhappy home. You could rather have mom and dad, or mom and mom and dad, whatever, separated,
right,
and happy because they, they are no longer with the one that just annoys the fuck out of you and whatever. Right. All the tension is gone. They can focus on themselves. They can focus on new loves, whatever. Kids will fare so much better because people think that kids don't see, kids don't know, kids don't feel. Kids feel the tension and kids see how parents act towards each other, how they look at each other, how they talk to each other. So why the fuck would you willingly keep your kid in a toxic situation?
But you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't even understand toxicity within that moment. You don't get it.
You mean the two toxic persons?
Right. You don't get your part of the bullshit. You might see their part and you might have a grievance against them, but you definitely are the hero.
But okay,
of your
fine.
story.
Even if you see their parts.
Right.
Then you should think okay, they are fucking up, they are making my life miserable, they are this, they're that, and the other.
Right.
You should just then leave because for your kids it's not
that easy, man.
It's not
that easy.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. It is legit. At the end of the day, it comes down to a couple of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the perspective to be able to look at your situation, not anybody's situation, just yours.
Okay.
And look at everybody's culpability in this particular thing. So, am I right? Am I wrong? Are they right? Are they wrong? Both wrong, both right. How was the balance? How do I go forward?
Of course,
that is a lot of fucking introspection. That is not a little. Go ahead. Sorry, like I had cut you off.
No, I wanted to say, of course, I cannot see the whole picture. And of course, in my head, I'm better than in the other person's experience.
Right.
But I can see that I'm fucking up, and if something is not working, it's two people who are not working. How can you think it's only the other? Like,
because you're the hero in your story.
yeah, I'm still the hero, but I
You
know
are the
I
hero
have
in your
some fucked
story.
up things, and I know I do
No,
some
but wait,
stupid
but
shit.
Wait. Legit, right? Have you ever had a moment where you look back at a situation like maybe months or years later, and you genuinely like you're out of it, you're completely out of it. You re-examine the thing, and you could say to yourself, "Man, I kind of fucked up there." And that was the first time that you realized that. In the heat of the moment, I could not say sorry to my baby mama. I thought she was the worst. I thought that she was the ogre, that she was the boomer, right?
Yeah.
Right? Is with time, I still feel that she did some fucked up shit, and that is why that we're not, at least from my end, right? But I don't think that is, and to come back to the R. Kelly thing a little bit, she didn't do certain shit in a vacuum.
No, exactly.
I am a pretentious, fucking obnoxious prick. I am, and I've learned, like, humility over the years, and even now I'm still fucking learning, right? She had to deal with me with the heat of that fire, with like me thinking that I'm right all the time, and I'm doing right all the time, and I'm never wrong, and that alone I could see where I might not have spurred on her actions, but I did not doof them. I did not, like help them to come down a bit or whatever. I amplified them. And in certain ways, she amplified my weird shit too, like as well. For those things to her, now again, in the past, I have apologized and I will apologize again. But you don't know that up until you're out of the situation, because in that moment, you feel like you're Superman and that's fucking Lex Luthor. And that's not the case. That's not always the case. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
There are some evil fuckers out there, believe that. Like, Lifetime movies have a kernel of truth. Not a lot, but just a kernel. Some odd shit. Them and Tyler Perry, you know what I mean?
Oh, Lord. Don't even start about that loser.
Right? But at the same time, there are times and moments where a lot of people would basically kind of benefit from the fact of, to come back all the way around. You ask me why cheat, right? I would answer all of that with this story that just went down, because you don't like the person across from you necessarily, or you don't feel comfortable in the situation that you're in, and there has to be a way out.
I don't know. A lot of people told me that it's not about liking the person per se in that moment. It's more about wanting something different. Wanting something different. They're missing something, either spontaneity
which
or
I could agree with as well.
sexiness, nastiness, whatever.
But it always comes down to that, though, doesn't it? Like, it always comes down to hey, my significant other doesn't do this, so I want to find it here.
But that's the problem.
I don't think. Listen, but this is where I would dare say that, even though that we're fucking cucks and soy boys and one and so, a 2021 man is a lot more equipped for his woman these days, because you understand that she has a different cake on the thing, and so her version of romance and whatever doesn't have to be to a playbook, but it's just different than yours. I think that's where a lot of that shit starts, that you don't understand my version of sex and your version of sex are different, but also my version of intimacy and your version of intimacy are a little different. My version of trust and your version of trust are a little different. My version of communication and your version of communication is a little different.
Yeah.
That is where the gaps could happen, and if you don't try to bring it up, you don't try to talk about it, you don't try to work it out, there's where the gaps turn into chasms. There's where the shit turns bad.
But do you think, just to round this off, we're still on Toque de Queda, and we're creeping up to
I gotta get home, y'all. Fuck
the hour.
y'all.
Yeah. Just to round off, do you think that if people were able to communicate honestly and openly, that the need for side pieces, mistresses, and all the other denominations or categories or whatever the hell you have would not exist
I think
in a Caribbean context.
I think by definition it wouldn't exist.
It wouldn't, or
It would not, because open communication also means we talk about religion, and religion gives you that dynamic of one man, one woman. It really does. Like Christianity, I would say in certain respects, Judaism in certain respects, because certain sects as well. But Islam, we've like in a Western world that was driven by Christianity mostly, we have this idea of one man, one woman, one household. And I think that in talking about that, you do it for me, but for 90%, and I like her because she plays ping pong with me, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I think that conversation can be had, and in that conversation, you bring down the sexual tones as well, because if it's that girl that you only like to play ping pong with her, you will never start to think of her as a sexual partner. If all of your sex is done properly with the woman that you love and you want to stay there and nothing is wrong, and you can admit an attraction, and you can say, all right, you know what, I want to do these things in with you because I love you more, there might be a middle road. There might be a like, all right, you know what, I don't like to do what you want to do, but I'm willing to try it out just because it's you, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, communication could bridge a lot of that shit, is what I'm feeling.
boys and girls,
We're done.
talk to your spouse, talk to your lover,
Talk to your significant others if you
other.
got, you know, like 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4. Talk to your boy side, your girlfriend,
Leave those.
your mistress.
Talk to your wife or your significant other that you're committed to.
Wait. Let me say one last thing, though. Like, one last thing before that we done. And this is also part of the patriarchy. Down with the patriarchy.
Down with the patriarchy.
That needs to go. The idea that women are neither horny nor conniving.
What?
Word. The word is bond. Half the time, sorry y'all, I got my allergies, you know, like you've been seeing me playing with my nose the whole fucking time. It's allergies, I swear to God. It's not COVID. It's not. I got my vaccine. No, but what it is, half the time when you hear a Han story, you automatically think, oh, the dude was an asshole. You whether or not that the woman is a psychopath or like a sociopath or whatever, you automatically think that the woman is the virginal wronged party, and all she did was be subservient and be this to the man and whatnot. The woman is put on a pedestal, the man is seen as a dog, right? Good, bad, or ugly, and I don't know if this, and I'm not trying to bring down women a peg like either. I just want it to be honest and fair. Women are as horny as us, if not worse, certain times. Women are as conniving as us, if not worse at certain times. Women are as short-sighted as us, if not worse at certain times. There is no holy gender. There is no whole. Men are dogs, women are dogs. Men are righteous, women are righteous. We're all the same. We
all wear our bonnets.
Yeah, we all have our problems.
Well, thank you, Marlo, for this PSA.
Fuck you.
But
next week?
Yeah.
Next week. All right, boom.
Okay.
People, thank you for staying with us the whole time. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We hope to fix that by next week. I do thank Denise for all her patience as well. And I don't know what you got to say on top of that, love.
I just wanted to say this whole PSA, this last thing about you, women this, women that. I think it's not new. It's no science. I think everybody knows this. Yes.
Really?
People,
next week then.
Okay, next week.
Round 4, because we're on round 3 right now.
Yeah, I'll bring the fireworks next week. Exactamundo. All right, people. Signing off. Stay safe.
We're done.
Take care.
Peace.
Deuces.
Later.